This is Say It Louder, and Nuggets coach Mike Malone had a lot to say. When asked about the All-Star game, he said, "It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be a part of a great weekend with great players, but it's the worst basketball game ever played. I don't know if you can fix it." That is a pretty direct quote describing what he was a part of during All-Star weekend. What do we need to do? How do we fix this thing?
I think for me, I don't know if there's any fixing in the current format. And I think part of that is a lot of people just realizing, hey, the days of guys really D'ing up and really getting up into somebody in an All-Star game, those days are over. Like, guys don't want to go out there and play 30 minutes in an All-Star game where they are going 110. You're not going to see that. But I also don't think you can change it and make it into like a 3-on-3, similar to what the Pro Bowl did this year and going to the flag football format. And so for me, I kind of just think we are where we are, and you have to deal with it.
So the scoring thing, I think, is a unique point. And it was like 184 points for the winning team this year, Team Giannis, and that's a lot of points. The winning team has topped 140 each of the last 15 years, but I'll give you some winning totals from the 1980s. So winning team, 144, 154, 139, 140, 138, and 143. So these were high-scoring games, certainly way higher than what you would see in a typical regular season game for these teams back in the 80s. So to me, I think that this has been an arena typically where we see players not play the same way that they would when they're playing for their team in a regular season game or the playoffs. What I see here is a bunch of guys, and the NBA made it pretty clear this year by the way that they did their draft, that they're playing a pickup game and they're there to show off. And so what do we like seeing? We like seeing shooters shooting it from half court. We like seeing all those deep shots that they take. We like seeing some of the dunks, right? We got to see John Morant in the open court throwing down some dunks. Pascal Siakam was dunking every time he touched the damn basketball. You got to see some guys throwing oops to each other. Kyrie, I think, tried to lob one to somebody who ain't really a dunker, but that's what you get in this type of event. And so I think if we take it for what it's worth, this is not a true competition, it's an exhibition. We can palate that. The other thing that I would say is that I had no problem with the Pro Bowl, the same way I have no problem with the way that the NBA does their All-Star weekend. And I think it's even better than what the Pro Bowl does because it's a higher level of visibility. They're faces that are a lot more familiar, and the celebrities that are in there is a difference maker. I mean, you see every single celeb, all of the different acts that they have, the performers, they've done that the right way.
I also think that because the dunk contest has gone down the last couple of years or so, it's put more pressure on the game on Sunday night to deliver. And by the time we get to Sunday, it's like, oh, I don't want to just see brothers shooting from half court. And so I think for your point, adjusting era to era, they shoot more threes now than they did back in the 80s and 90s. If you adjust that, those scores are probably around the same, just with a little less defense.
No, and that's the thing that I'm saying. Like, I appreciate these things for what they're worth. I like seeing the stars go out there and show off a little bit. It doesn't bother me that these guys don't play defense. I understand they're making a business decision by going out there and not playing hard. And I would rather see a great game at the end of the year than during the All-Star break. So I think that's something that we're all going to have to deal with.